When we talk about VA disability, one of the main questions that veterans have is, when does my disability become permanent? Today we're looking at that very question. When does VA disability become permanent and total? Welcome to NWA Vet Presents. First, let's talk about permanent. According to CFR 38, or the Code of Federal Regulations, which governs VA disability, disabilities are considered permanent, and I quote, when such impairment is reasonably certain to continue throughout the life of the disabled person. In other words, the disability will most likely not get better, even with medical care. So, how do you show the VA that your disability should be rated as permanent? Even once you have a disability rated, continue to seek medical care for it. Are you rated for PTSD? Keep seeing a counselor. Are you rated for arthritis? Keep seeing the doctor for the pain. Are you rated for migraines? Keep taking your medication and let your doctor know when you have more headaches. In other words, you're building up evidence with the VA that your disabilities are continuing and are not getting better. Yes, medication will help, but for many conditions you still deal with the consequences. This is how you clue the VA in that your particular condition is permanent. Okay, we see permanent. Now let's turn to total. Total means that your disabilities prevent you from engaging in substantially gainful employment. This means that based upon the VA rating, you cannot keep a normal job. Now, the VA rates disabilities according to their scale. With medication, can you continue to function in a normal 9-to-5 job with 100% disability? I know many veterans who do. They're disabled in many ways, but they continue to function fairly normal lives in spite of the disabilities. However, according to the VA rating, they are considered 100% totally disabled due to the variety of disabilities that they have. So we want that 100% or total rating. And we want to know, can we work with a 100% rating? That's when we visit the idea of scheduler rating or individual unemployability rating. Scheduler rating means that you are rated on the schedule of disabilities. Scheduler 100% means you are at 100% rating based solely upon your disabilities. Individual unemployability means that you are telling the VA that even though you're not 100%, you cannot keep a job due to your disabilities. In order to apply for individual unemployability, you must have one disability at 60% or two or more disabilities with a total of 70% and at least one at 40%. Now, here's the thing. You are telling the VA that you cannot work due to your disabilities. The VA will pay you at the 100% rate, but this means that you cannot hold substantially meaningful employment while you receive individual unemployability. In other words, you've told the VA that you can't work, so you can't work. If you start working while on individual unemployability, the VA has the authority and sometimes does periodically check tax records to see if the people who are on IU are bringing in more money than they should be. And if so, then the IU will be ended and the VA will most likely take back the money that they gave. That's just part of it. However, if you're a 100% scheduler, that means the VA has found you to be 100% due to your disabilities. That doesn't affect your ability to hold a job at all. Look at it this way. 100% scheduler, the VA is telling you they think you may not be able to work. Under individual unemployability, you're telling the VA you cannot work. When it's the VA telling you, it's up to you what you do. But when it's you telling the VA, then you're expected to abide by what you say. Okay, now we get to the famous permanent and total status. Without permanent and total, the VA does 5-year updates. They may just do a medical records review, or they may schedule you for another compensation and pension exam. If they do, go to the exam. Failure to go to a C&P exam very well can result in your rating being lowered. Once the VA rules you permanent and total, however, you no longer have those 5-year reviews. Some of the other benefits, as I said, for permanent and total, there are no limits on employment. In addition, dependents are eligible for Chapter 35 education benefits. Generally, this means they'll have 36 months of tuition at in-state public schools. You can find more information on Chapter 35 on the VA education website, and I'll have it linked below. Also, some states give permanent and total veterans breaks on personal property taxes, and there are other benefits at state level. Here in Arkansas, 100% permanent and total veterans are eligible for a lifetime combination hunting and fishing license for a grand total of $3. So, how do you obtain permanent and total status? First, it is not a rating. You don't apply for it. The VA looks at your disabilities and determines when you meet the requirements for permanent and total status. As we said earlier, continue to go to medical appointments. Even if you're rated 100%, continue to go to appointments for your disabilities. You're working on building up evidence for the VA to see that your disabilities are not getting better and will probably not get better in the future. Honestly, we've seen some veterans chase the permanent and total status for 20 years, and others get it in the first 5 years. It's going to be up to you to furnish the evidence by continuing to be seen. And that's all we have today on permanent and total. I hope that it's helped you with some good information. Like always, if you know of somebody who could benefit by this, feel free to share the video. Also, if you would, hit the like button and hit subscribe. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or email us at info@nwavet.org. Y'all take care out there, watch out for each other, and have a good day. This is NWA Vet, out.